Yo, what's up? We're back with some more Kaiju number 8 the game. They've posted the sneak peek for the new Mina and Bakko. I've already glanced over the skills and it seems like this Mina is going to be an AoE monster. She has AoE on passive skill, ultimate and combat skill. And she'll also introduce a new mechanic which is going to be this tiger right here. It's sort of a separate character but not really. We're going to take a look at the preview real quick. And then after that we're going to go into the game and see if the current weapon that Mina has is going to fit the new Mina or not. Now the preview doesn't offer us the full detail. We're still missing the left side passive, the weapon effects, and also her stats. I've already compiled all of the skills right here. We'll take a look in a bit. We'll take a look at the preview first. So her ultimate is going to be an adjacent AoE, and she also has a secondary effect which after you ult, you also apply the combined forces. So her passive skill is at the start of combat, she also calls forth this Bakko right here. Now pretty much this Bakko doesn't do anything until you ult. He will only give you crit rate buff before you ult, crit rate buff and also shield. But once you ult, you will also do an extra action which will trigger AoE attacks. So this part right here. So right here at the start of Bakko's turn, applies crit rate plus 33% for Mina for 1 turn. And also a shield for 3 turns which is equals to 11% of this unit's max HP. Now right here it does say that Bakko has a fixed speed of 105, but I think what this means is that you can still buff him up with like speed buff, but equipments don't take into effect, right? If you have whatever equipment on Mina, that speed will not go onto Bakko. So if you look at the action order right here, the action order is different between Mina and also Bakko. Right here for example, Mina moves first and then Bakko moves second. Okay, right here you'll be able to see the extra action effect. Bakko took a turn and then they do a follow-up attack which does an AoE attack because of the passive skill. Whenever you have the combined forces effect and Bakko takes an action, Mina will also follow up with her attack. Here's the Ascensions. In my opinion, none of them are needed. A1 is just giving her crit damage when she combat skill or ultimate for 1 turn. And then for A2, it just gives the combined forces plus 1 when you ult. And it also gives her a little bit of penetration rate. And then her A6 just gives the crit rate buff plus 1 turn, so now it becomes a 2 turn. And then when you have 70% or more HP, this unit's crit damage plus 50%. Obviously this will give her more damage, but in my opinion it doesn't change the unit. She's still going to be doing the exact same thing that she's doing, just going to be slightly better. Alright, so here's the full skill. They don't give us the S1 value, but we'll take a look in game to see how much the multiplier is going to be, because it should be the same across all of the other units. So her combat skill, it deals shot damage equals to 123%. This is at max level. And 63% of this unit's attack to adjacent Kaiju. It costs 1 SP and it gives you 90 ult gauge. And it also advances Bakko's action order by 50%. The more turn Bakko takes, the more damage you'll do from the passive skill. But that's only once you've activated your ultimate, right? Because you need to get the combined forces first before you can do the extra action. So the ultimate skill, it deals shot damage equals to 256 and also 128% of this unit's attack to adjacent Kaiju, and it also applies combined forces 3 turns to this unit. Now I'm not sure if this is included in the Ascension or not, because the Ascension does say that it gives you plus 1 turn on the combined forces, which means it's either going to be 4 turns or maybe this one is already included, because I don't know why you would need 4 turns of combined forces. Usually within 3 turns you'll be able to get your ultimate already. So 3 turns is usually already enough for you to have on the buff. You don't really need the Ascension right there. And then the passive skill at the start of battle calls for Bakko, and he has a fixed speed of 105. At Bakko's turn, applies crit rate plus 33% for 1 turn, and shield for 3 turns equals to 11% of this unit's max HP. And when activating extra attack while in combined forces, deals shot damage equals to 83% of this unit's attack to a single Kaiju and adjacent Kaiju. Now I want to see if her passive skill will actually reduce the plating or not, because if it does, then she'll also be a very good plate breaking character, right? Especially for shot damage. Maybe the video does show us. I think it's this part right here. So he has 5 of the normal plating. It does the follow-up attack or the extra action, and it doesn't seem to be going down. So I think the passive skill doesn't actually reduce the plating, which is not too good. So yeah, basically this Mina has a bunch of AoE attacks. Okay, let's take a look in game to see if her old weapon is usable on the new Mina or not. I don't even know if I have her weapon or not. I might have sold it. I think I don't have her weapon. Yeah, for my main account, I don't have her weapon. How about the shop though? Okay, we do have her weapon in the shop. Before the equipped unit activates normal attack, applies attack plus 13% for 2 turns and out-gauge charge rate 7% for 2 turns to the equipped unit maximum 2 stacks. Okay. Not really that useful for the new Mina because the new Mina has a good combat skill, so you want to use it as much as possible. Does she have another weapon? Okay, she does have another weapon from the Proof of Valor shop. T. Oceanus. After the equipped unit activates ultimate, applies attack plus 7% to the equipped unit, maximum 3 stacks. If there are 2 or fewer Kaiju on the battlefield, the equipped unit's damage dealt plus 12%. I guess this one is better for the new Mina if you couldn't get her new weapon, but most likely her new weapon is going to be the best for her. There's also the Battle Pass weapon if you bought the Battle Pass. This one. We can see it by holding it right here. T. Rhea. Crit damage plus 33% when the equipped unit attacks a Kaiju that has 50% or less remaining HP. The equipped unit's damage dealt plus 10%. This one's pretty bad. It only has one effect, but the main stat is really good. Crit damage over attack or something. Especially since the new Mina can get crit rate buff from Bakko, 33% if you have her maxed out. And we can look at her skill 1 multiplier by looking at the old Mina. So it should be about the same, 110, or maybe slightly higher if the out-gauge charge value is lower. So maybe if it gives 60, then the normal skill will do like maybe 160% multiplier. And it should be the same for the follow-up skill as well, 132%. So that's about it. For my first impression, this new Mina doesn't particularly look that OP. She'll be a very good AoE unit, but I don't think she's gonna excel in any content in particular. She doesn't seem to be a must summon. She's a single typing, short typing, but I might be wrong because we still don't know what her left side passive skill is. What I mean by that is this one, right? Some units become extremely busted because of this left side passive skill. One example is going to be numbers 2 Kikuru, where she starts off with the ultimate skill. That is completely broken. If the new Mina has that passive skill, I think she's gonna be very good. But if she doesn't, then you can probably just skip her. So yeah, that's about it. Ciao.